Welcome to another video. So I'm laughing to myself because I just done a whole video and I just played it back and I think I had my finger over the microphone. Oh, it's proper amateur hour. Right, yeah, right, okay, well, right, start again, right. I was in the garden because I was bored, nothing on TV, not that I watch TV, nothing on Netflix, seen it, done it, all bit boring. So anyway, I was wandering around and I was checking on things, and I did a video on this little squamata the other night, the other day, as a masterpiece. I'll explain why in a minute, but in that video I mentioned that I'd done a similar thing with a little Bracumbens, and this is the Bracumbens. I've just left it. I did this last year, and I've just left it, and it's put on masses of growth. It was just it was a stick. I love my sticks, and I've just left it. So that's one important thing to remember of everything I say in this video. I left it. I've got to apologise as well because I'm not great at explaining things. I'm not a teacher, and I'm not a professional. I've been doing it for years, but I tend not to. I'm in my own little world when I do it. So when it comes to explaining things, I don't think I'm very good. So I do apologise. But what I do, what I do, I hope does help you guys. So I thought I'd bring these 3 trees in to recap on the masterpiece video, because I think there's a couple of things that I didn't mention. One thing is, I do find, or I've found over the years, when you want to start making a bonsai from garden material, especially in your early days of bonsai, or even now, I mean, I still do it now. I always buy more than one piece of material of the same plant. Around I go to the garden centre, and it isn't very often I buy just one. I buy 2 or 3 of the same species, and I do appreciate that it's not cheap, and it does come down to funds, and it is a hobby. It's been a hobby for me for years, and I've spent thousands, but I do appreciate it does come down to money. So, but what I tend to do is buy 2 or 3 plants, same species, same time, and then what I do then is do different things with them. So I very often take one, like a Bracumbens, one of say 2 or 3, and I turn it into something that is immediately a bonsai, whether it's an informal upright or a cascade, because these do lend themselves really well to being a cascade. But I tend to do different things with each individual tree, and this is a great example. So this one, I really went to town on. This one. I'll zoom in a minute. Manipulated every single branch that was on it. I didn't cut anything off. The other one that I turned into an informal upright, I just selected the usual. I stuck to the rules basically. S shape, alternate branches, immediate bonsai. This one I didn't. I kept all the branches, but what I did was got rid of all the tertiary ones off the branches. So all I had was on the ends. Everything was on the ends of the legginess, the legginess of it all, and just tied it in a ball. Tied everything. Got all the branches. Just screwed it up basically. And it's really interesting, and it will be in the future, This thing will be amazing in the future. And that's the point of the video that I did on the old squamata. If we can zoom in on this little tree, I did a video on it, and it was very long. I do apologize, it was very long, but I don't script anything. I don't plan anything. I just basically pick something out of the garden and go, okay, right, well let's do a video on this. So there's no thunking. Just bring it in and get on with it. But I put this tree on YouTube, and I titled it Future Masterpiece or something along those lines. And I think it will be one day. You know, there's probably a lot of people out there going, what the bloody hell is he on about? It's not a masterpiece. But as I said in the video, you look to the future, you look to the way that the whole tree is being designed now. Because when all this fuses together, imagine it all fuses and it gets bigger and chunkier, all these interesting lines will become what you see in these bonsai shows, especially in Japan. In Japan, they've adopted this method for years, thousands of years. China as well, all over Indonesia. This is what they do. So I did the same with the old recumbens. We'll try and zoom in on this. The camera was playing up because I was outside and I think it got a bit damp. Excuse the filming. Camera crew still haven't turned up. They sent me an invoice as well. Cheeky buggers, I tell you. So if you ever look in there, see this camera's all playing up. See what's going on with it. There you go. So this tree isn't very big. It's tiny. Well, it was tiny when I got it. It was a stick. Yeah, I know. Somebody's out there going, I bet it was a stick. It was a stick. It was tiny, and I bought 2 or 3 at the same time. Gave a few away, sold one, did the usual thing. But this is thickened up. I mean, these were all spindly, really thin branches when I did it all, and it's already started to set. So this wire could come off now. I think it'd be safe to take off, and it would stay in the same position. But I want to hold it because I want it to eventually fuse all these twists and spirals and everything. So the point I'm making, buy more than one tree when you go into a garden centre. That's probably the biggest tip I can give, especially when you're starting off in bonsai. Because my approach is that each bit of material is different. As soon as you get it home and you have a look at it, it's all different, and you can do different things with it. Each plant will tell you what it wants, which is important. But I tend to buy 2 or 3 of the same species. Do one as an informal, just stick to the rules, make it look nice. You can make it look nice overnight. You can turn one of these into a bonsai overnight and it looks fantastic. And then you've got something to admire. But do the second or third one a little bit crazy and then leave it. Just leave it. You've got one to appreciate, and you've got one or two to leave, to come back to in the future. You can practice on the one that you've developed into an immediate bonsai, and then even if you do it for a year, you can learn a lot in a year. So when you come back to something that you've done like this, you've gained yourself a bit of knowledge. And yeah, and I don't think it's all down to knowledge. I think a lot of it is down to creativity, and not knowledge in bonsai, but knowledge on the plant itself. Learning the basics, and yeah, I think that's important. I'm bumbling on again, but yeah, that's the point I'm making. If you got the opportunity, and I appreciate, things aren't cheap. To me, it's a hobby. I've spent a few quid over the years, but I think it's all been worth it. There's nothing I've ever regretted. I haven't lost many trees, and the trees that have died are generally, well, I've always put down to bad choice in the garden centre. I've bought a tree that is already suffering, and I'm a fan of that, and I still do that. But I've gained enough knowledge now to bring back trees. I think it's quite satisfying when you see the bargain bench, and you look at it and you think, oh, look at him, he's like, nobody loves you. And then you get it out, and then a year, 2 years later, it's amazing. But that all comes down to experience. If you're not that clued up yet on the whole horticultural background and in individual plants as well, you need to learn about individual plants. If you're not, I wouldn't recommend going to the bargain bench, because I made that mistake. As I say, I lost a few trees, felt sorry for them, thought, oh yeah, I could save this. No, there's a few that died years ago. But anyway, that's just that's a different video, that one. This whole I think this is an alpine blue. It's not a squamata. Again, I found this in the garden. Oh, I'll tell you what, my garden is like, it's a mystery. It's like Christmas every day I go out in there. I was like, ooh, look at that. I forgot I had that. I do remember repotting this one. It was 2 years ago. It was at my mum's for ages. Didn't really do a lot, and I repotted it because it obviously needed it. And I've left it. But yeah, we'll do a video on this because I will turn this into something. Let's just adjust this. This camera is not behaving itself. It's all grainy. I think the lens might need cleaning. I was out in the garden rummaging around. Let's give it a clean. There we go. Is that any better? No, not one bit. So I have to excuse me. Playing around with it. Playing around. No, it's not behaving, is it? Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm faffing about. So yeah, I don't script any of my videos. I just grab the plant and then go, oh, let's do a video on that. There's no thinking, there's no preparation to any of these videos. But that's good. It's raw, isn't it? That's what bonsai should be about. Where were we? Yeah, point being, buy more than one tree and try different things. It goes back to the old saying, you can love a tree too much. So if you've got one tree, you can love it too much. You play around with it too much and you just, it ends up dead. So yeah, I think have more than one and try different things. I think it's a really good thing that I've done over the years. Hence why I've got stuff like this lying around in the garden. I do a little bit of work and then just leave it, let it grow, let it do its own thing, and then come back. Because it's bonsai is not all about human manipulation. To really have a balance, you've got to let the tree do its own thing for a bit. It's much more au naturel, darling. You've got to have that balance. There are professionals out there that can transform a tree and make it look natural eventually, but realistically I've always found, do a bit of work, let the tree do what it wants. Do a little bit of work, let the tree do what it wants. And then you're in partnership, then you're in like a harmony, and by doing that things look less artificial, less man-made, and it looks great. You can't beat nature. You can't beat it. That's why we love trees, because of nature, the way that they the way that everything works in the universe. Anyway, I'm bumbling on again. Yeah, so I thought I'd add that little bit of advice. Buy more than one tree and try different techniques. It's definitely worth it. But remember, leave them alone. I won't touch this now. Well, certainly until next year. The priority of this little one is to concentrate on the wire. I don't want it cutting in, because eventually one day, not necessarily me, somebody's going to carve this, and if there's wire scars within the fusion, it will be noticeable. It could add character. I'm not saying it won't add character to it, but it might be obvious in the future that somebody's wired it, which is not what you want. You can get away with it externally because you can always carry on and hide things, but internally it's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. Can't do that. Won't work. So yeah, there you go. That's my advice. Buy more than one tree. Try different things. Work on one. Leave one buried in the garden. Leave it. Yeah. Right. Anyway, thought I'd add a little thing about comments. I do read your comments. I do. I did state in one video that something along the lines of don't subscribe, don't like, and don't comment because I won't read them. I'm doing these videos for myself. I'm doing them for myself. It's my channel, do what I want. Don't care what you guys think. But having said that, I do care. I've started to get a few more followers, and a little bit rude of myself, I suppose, to say don't comment. I do read your comments, and it's only right that I do. If you got the time to watch my videos, then expectedly I should have the time to read your comments, and I will answer. I will answer. I think it's important. I still saying don't subscribe and don't like, because I'm doing this for myself. But if you do comment, I will get back to you. It doesn't have to be a question. It doesn't have to be constructive. It doesn't have to be. If it's a joke, I love jokes. Put a joke in there. Yeah, we could share jokes. Love it. Right. I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to go and have a glass of wine and put these little bad boys back out on the bench and forget about this one for another year. We'll come back to this. It's going to be so cool. Cheers, guys. Have yourselves a good one.